Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's good to be here. Our first ever morning live stream. The first of many. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Let's go full camera here. Welcome and thank you very much for being here. This is the X1 Wake Up with X1 morning show. It's our first of many. For those of you that are listening via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this, what we used to do for X1 the Gamer is I used to upload my daily videos. Those daily videos are still happening. However, the new podcast is this, and that's what we'll be dropping on Spotify, Apple. We are live on YouTube every single morning at this time. So I'm deciding on the time right now. Originally, I was like, okay, 7 a.m. Or 6 a.m. PT might be the best time. It looks like it probably will be 5:30 a.m. PT just because I have work meetings early in the morning as well. So this is before I start work. Before you start work, we will hang out. We will talk about the daily news. We will discuss it. We'll go over things. So for everybody who's joined us live, Super Shocker is here in the house. Wake up, people, he says. Jerry Klebe is here. Let's go. Shine is in the house. Welcome, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I'm very excited to do this. This will last each live morning show, so it will be Monday through Friday. That's the goal. It will be anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. So 30 to 60 minutes every single morning. Dylan Erlocker is here in the house, says, good morning. Jerry Klebe says, oh, no, I'm at work by 5:30 Central Time. Dude, that is insane. That is insane. So it's going to do two things. Number one, it'll help me get up early. I'm already up at this time anyways. I'm just dinking around normally. So I was like, you know what? And I was debating. I was like, maybe I do an evening news show where we recap everything. The problem with evening when you have kids is just how difficult it is for other things to get in the way, right? Like how difficult it is to make sure that nothing else gets in the way. Everything gets in the way. So I could do it in the evening, but I thought I used to live stream every day. For those of you who have been around the X1 Bros for a while, you know that I used to live stream every morning before I would drive to work. And so I thought that's the easiest way. Nothing's in the way. Kids are in bed, or they should be. They're not yet up, so it's the best way to ensure that we could do a daily Xbox daily gaming news show here on the channel. So how this will work is we are going to go over some news. Then we'll do our first section is news. Our first, segment. Our first segment will be news. We'll talk about one or two news stories of the day. Then we'll do what I call the feedback loop. And that's just comments from you guys here in chat, anyone who has joined us live. And then sometimes we'll look at Twitter, sometimes we'll look at a trailer, and then we'll call it a day and go from there. So I'm very excited. Thank you very much for being here. If you haven't yet, if you're listening to this over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, come and join us over on YouTube and subscribe to the X1 the Gamer channel. Daily videos are dropping still. Not today. There's one that will drop tomorrow outside of the live stream, and then obviously we have shorts and everything. So very excited, very much looking forward to feedback. Give me feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to improve on, what direction we can take this, etc., and we'll go from there. For those of you who are new and are live in chat, you see Super Shocker. He's got the badge there because he's a member here of the channel. You get custom emotes in the whole shot. So if you'd like to support me, the best way to do that is just to become a member here on the YouTube channel. There are the custom emotes, and then you get a badge based on how long you have been a member. So huge shout out to all of our members. Super Shocker. Is Super Shocker the only member in chat this morning? Right now, he's the only one that's chatted, but he's got the sexy X there. So thank you for that. All right, let's jump into it today, guys. It's Monday, so there's not usually a whole lot to talk about on Monday. We're really just wrapping up some things from the end of last week, some things that may have dropped over the weekend. But the first thing that I really want to talk about is we're getting an ability to further customize our console home screens. Now, this is big because we're going to see UI change over the next couple of years as Xbox gets closer to dropping their handheld. Well, the handheld drops at the end of this year, so we'll probably see some major UI changes there. In fact, we've already seen some. I've seen some people who have the the beta of the UI for handhelds, the PC. If you've got Xbox on PC, you've seen some big changes there. The way that games are even presented to you on that is changing. And the reason it's changing is because Xbox is eventually going to the handheld there. So this is over at windowscentral.com. Xbox insiders can further customize their consoles, home screen, pinning games, changing tile sizes, and more. Now, this is only available right now to the Insider program. Some players enrolled in the Xbox Insider program will soon be able to customize their console home screen in new ways, pinning favorite games and hiding system apps. Okay, hiding the system apps is really nice. I would hide like this. So right now what we're looking at is I would hide basically everything. If you could hide browse the store, will they let you hide the ads? Because see how there's 2 ads here in the bottom right? Do you think they're going to let you hide those ads? I doubt it. As shared via Xbox Wire on Friday, this update is rolling out to Xbox insiders in the Alpha Skip Ahead and Alpha Rings first. Members of these rings will soon be able to pin up to 3 favorite games or apps, keeping them there instead of letting them go away if you've played other games more recently. I like that because I'm always playing new games. I'm always trying out the latest thing. And sometimes sometimes I have to go to my gamer library in order to see it. Let's actually check out the Xbox Wire. I just wanted to see if they had different screenshots here. Here we go. So you can hide system apps. Here are the settings, actually. This is what Xbox Wire actually says about hiding the system apps. Want a cleaner view focused on your games and entertainment? You can now hide system apps from the recently played games and app list on home, reducing clutter and keeping your home focused on what matters most to you. But what do they define as system apps? Again, do the ads count there? Does anybody know? Is anybody in the Insider program? Jerry Klebe in chat says, I bet ads will stay. Yeah, I doubt ads go away. They need those ads there, right? Pin favorites to home. You can now pin up to 3 of your recently played games or apps directly to the recently played games and apps list. These pins will still near the front of the list as you launch other things, giving you quick access to your go-to tiles. I like that. This is the coolest one. Reduced tile count, which is coming soon. Do you prefer a more minimal look? This setting allows you to reduce the number of visible tiles in the recently played games and apps list, helping you streamline your home and surface only the essentials. We're still refining the setting and will come to you shortly. So they don't actually show. So there's a lot on this trial screen here. This one I think is pretty standard. Sounds like you can increase the size of those tiles so that, or rather you can say, hey, I only want to show 3 games. The 3 most recent games on my home screen, and then those tiles probably increase in center, I would imagine is what happens. But there you go. May not seem like a huge deal, but I think any customization, any UI stuff, really over time it adds up to just bring to just make your experience better, right? And here's the thing, as we prep for the handheld UI. So remember, I'm saying handheld UI, it's all going to be the same. It's all going to be cross-play, cross-save. It's going to look the same. Your Xbox PC app, the gaming handheld, and the console itself will all be the same. So they've got to make that fluid, and this is definitely a step in that direction. Mr. Lion Blood says, hit the like button, everybody. Absolutely, hit the like button. Let's get to the singularity. I don't actually know how many likes we have here. Hold on one second. I can look this up. I don't know. I don't know. My screen is too big. I legitimately don't know how many likes we have, but that's okay. There we go. We've got 15 likes and 32 concurrent viewers. So thank you, everybody, for joining us here on our first ever live stream. This will happen again Monday through Friday daily. Wake Up with X1 is what I'm calling it. And it's going to be just a chance and opportunity for us to hang out, start the morning out right, talk about all things gaming. Rabbi Henriksen is here in the house. What's up, Rabbi? Cooper says, yeah, I've seen it, and the ads stay. So there you go. I figured the ads would stay. That's something that's a necessity there. What would you guys want to see changed on the UI screen? More dynamic backgrounds, less dynamic backgrounds. I will say what was a huge improvement for me is, and can I blow this up? Let me see if I can blow this image up. Anyways, I can't. What is a huge improvement for me is having at the top of the screen there, you've got the library, the store, Game Pass, and then search, and then settings up at the top. I think that's been a really nice quality of life feature that I use actually quite frequently. When it first dropped, I didn't think I would use it so much because I'm so used to just dropping to the Jewel and then going to wherever I need to. But actually, I've used it quite a bit. In fact, I find myself using that more up at the top, that top search bar functionality, than going in and hitting the Jewel. So there is that. Millsy says, "Hey, from the UK, listening while trucking around the UK." Millsy, welcome to chat. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much. Clark Osborne is here. Hello, chat. I just hit the like button. Thank you very much, Edgar. Make it like the PlayStation format. So the PlayStation has the blades. I actually don't like the PlayStation UI as a whole. What I do like is the way that PlayStation presents their games on the store. I think it's very clean. I think it makes your games pop. I think it has this white glove feel to it, and I think they do that better. I prefer overall the way that Xbox is laid out from a utilitarian standpoint, but from a sex appeal standpoint, the way that the UI operates on the PlayStation, I would say has a more prestigious feel to it, if that makes sense. Has a pristine feel to it. So I do, and I think they present their games better. Like when you scroll over a game and it starts playing for you, it's clean. It puts the imagery front and center. The artwork of the game front and center, and it just really has that white glove feel, I think, anyways. So, but I wouldn't move to the entire UI system there. Overall, I would take some notes on how it's presented, and I think the Xbox on PC app is doing more of that. It's presenting your games in a more white glove feel. What do I mean by white glove feel? I mean just sex appeal. It makes it look sexy, right? Like that's it. Shine says, hides in shame. I think my subscription has expired. No, or your membership expired. Shine, no worries, my friend. No worries. Edgar, the UI of the Xbox Series X is crappy. See, I don't think that it's crappy. I think that the UI on the Xbox is pretty decent. I think it's the best that we've had. It's in the best place that it's been in my lifetime, and that's the entire Xbox Series X lifetime. So I actually really like it. Cooper says that the old 360 blades would be good. The old 360, it would be cool if you had an option to go to those. That would be cool. Now, they do have that as like a dynamic background that you can put up there, but I agree it would be cool to have that as an option. Edgar asks, which console is better right now, PS5 Pro or the Xbox Series X? I mean, that's a debate that the interwebs loves. I see a lot of posts out there about how some games are played better on the Xbox Series X, some on the PS5 Pro. I think that, I mean, I have an Xbox Series X. It's where I'm playing all my games because you combine that with Game Pass, and I think the value is just undeniable. I really do. Like you can have, so what the PS5 Pro is X percentage more powerful. Okay, I have Game Pass, and I have access to hundreds of games there for a monthly subscription. Adidas20 is here in the chat and says, good morning, Adidas20. Welcome. Happy Monday. Super Shocker leaves a super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. He says, I would love to see a better friends list. I would agree with that. I will say, I think that they've done a good job of the friends list. So there's a screen now where it shows what your friends are playing. I mean, and that has always existed, but they're presenting it to you more front and center. I also do like the new games hub. So when you jump into a game or you look at, for instance, if we're seeing on this screenshot right here, if you were to click into Oblivion there's actually a game page for it, and it shows your friends, what friends are playing that. It shows some screenshots and video gameplay that players have captured. So I do like that. I like those game hubs. I think that that's a good way to present a game, a good way to make a game feel like a community and see all what's happening there. So I do like that. Clark Osborne says, I wouldn't mind Xbox making the titles a bit smaller. It's true. I think that goes back to, and if you look, PlayStation might do that, and that's what PlayStation puts the artwork of the game front and center. At least it feels that way to me. And I think Xbox could do more of that. For instance, look how cool Oblivion is. Why isn't that bigger, bolder? And to your point, Clark, the title should be smaller there to really focus us in on that. Dark Knight is here in the house and says, good morning, next one. Good morning, Dark Knight, coming at us from the desert of Arizona, baby. Welcome. Good morning, Dark Knight. Super Shocker says, let me know which friends are currently playing, what game they're on, join party, all on the home screen. I would agree, especially if it's a social. I mean, the Xbox is known for being the social console. It's known for being the multiplayer console. Why not put that front and center? I don't necessarily disagree with that. The question is, how do you do that? The other question is, I think we're going to see some big adjustments here because what they want to put front and center is Game Pass. as well. So how do you do that in such a way that makes it not only appealing to the eye, but then directs you where they want your direction to be? That's primarily Game Pass, the latest games, et cetera, et cetera. So really, really interesting stuff there. But I don't disagree with you, Super Shocker. I think 100% having more of like the social aspect front and center would be huge. Mr. Lion Blood says, I would love more dynamic backgrounds. Yeah, I think so. I think putting the dynamic backgrounds front and center, you also have to, it's like 4 menus deep to get to backgrounds and your dynamic backgrounds. So I think having those more front and center, more easily accessible would also be much, much better in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. So that's the dashboard. We are getting some new things. Again, just to recap, you're going to be able to hide the systems app. You're going to be able to pin your favorites to home, and then you can reduce the tile count coming soon. So you can only have your essentials there, have a really minimalist look, which I think I would be in favor of. There's that. Next up, we do have the showcase that we're talking about, and I think it's going to be our biggest next few months that we'll ever have for a showcase that we've ever experienced. This is over at purexbox.com. Multiple Xbox-related showcases officially confirmed for next month. Get ready. It's going to be a summer game showcase unlike we've ever seen. It's almost that time of year again, says purexbox.com. The Xbox Game Showcase is just around the corner, and it's set to be joined by a barrage of other showcases at the same time, many which will feature Xbox-related reveals as well. This is all part of Summer Game Fest season, previously known as E3 season, with pretty much every showcase taking place within just a few days or even hours of each other. It all kicks off with Summer Game Fest Live on June 6th, while other particularly notable events inside the Future Game Show, the PC Gaming Show, and the yet-to-be-announced Ubisoft Forward Show. Now, that one I think is going to be interesting, the Ubisoft one. A lot of people paying attention to it, in my opinion, because where does Ubisoft go? We know Ubisoft does have some financial troubles. We know that they've created a separate entity for some of their bigger titles that Tencent Gaming has invested in. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ubisoft has to show off. I think Ubisoft, as have many developers, this is nothing specific to Ubisoft necessarily, but has lived off a lot of its past titles like the Assassin's Creed, The Division, Ghost Recon, Far Cry. Do we get anything new from Ubisoft that we really, that knocks it out of the park, that everybody says, dang, did you see that title from Ubisoft? It's going to be interesting. Obviously, the main event for us, says Pure Xbox, is the Xbox Showcase, though, followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. So here is the Xbox Showcase. It is on June 8th, Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Now, they are having a watch party. Xbox has announced this in LA. Is anybody here in chat in LA? Anybody going to that watch party? Would be very interested. Let me know. Hit me up. But here we go. We've got the Accessibility Summer Showcase. Everything basically happens over the weekend of Friday, June 6th to Sunday, June 8th. Again, this is basically when E3 used to be, which makes me sad. Many of you, Dark Knight, I'm looking at you. Many of you in chat, we met and hung out at a few E3s. E3 was a good time. I wonder if anything physical in the future will replace it. I'm not sure. I do think there is value of showing up in person. I know that there is the PAX East, PAX West, PAX South, but that's not where like big news is revealed. That's more of a standard convention where people can get together and hang out. I know Reactor Leak. Is Reactor Leak in chat today? I don't think I've seen him here in chat. Shout out to Reactor Leak. I know he's been trying to get us to go to, PAX West or PAX West that he's been to a few times, but it's still not E3. The hype around E3, the excitement of the announcements and being there in person with people was so much fun. It's going to be very interesting to see if we get anything like that in the future. I know the organization over E3 is trying, or who that owns E3 is trying to do something. And I remember we talked about a story a while ago. Is E3 going to... Is it going to Vegas? Is there something going to Vegas? I think a gaming convention or a gaming presentation, a slot of gaming presentations in Las Vegas would be amazing. Las Vegas is built for it. Number one, it's the cheapest place to fly to in the U.S., or one of the cheapest. It's so accessible because of because it's Las Vegas. They get people from all over the world. They get people from all over the country flying in for the weekend. Flights are really cheap. There is tons and tons, obviously, of accommodations for hotels. They're built for conferences. It's built for conferences. I would love to see some sort of major game conference. And there is one. I can't remember which one. It's not E3. It might be being put on by the guys that own E3, but it's not E3. But I would love to see something like that return. And then, imagine all these announcements live in Vegas. It would be wild, man. Imagine being able to bet on what's going to be announced. You could parlay those bets if you're right on all of them. Would be a ton of fun. So let's just go over it. We've got the accessibility. That's Friday. Summer Game Fest Live is Friday. Day of Devs is Friday. Wholesome Direct is Saturday. Future Game Show is Saturday. The big one, obviously, for us is Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. British time. And that is the Xbox Games Showcase. Now, I do think this is, and then we wrap it up, obviously, with the PC Gaming Show. The PC Gaming Show is always weird. Because it's just not focused, and it's like it's traditionally like a late night talk show where a dev comes on, you show off a game, dev talks about the game, but it lacks kind of the focus. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this is presented, the PC Gaming Show. I do think a lot of companies have got better at presenting their games in these types of shows. So PC Gaming Show, do we see anything different there? But the Xbox Games Showcase, I think, is going to be absolutely huge. Think about what we've gotten. We got Oblivion that dropped already this as a shadow drop. That we got Gears, the Gears remake that dropped as a shadow drop as well already. Those are things that, especially at this time of year, you would just hold till your game showcase and drop them or announce them at least then. Or imagine having those on stage and then being able to say they're live now. The fact that they're not, what are we seeing? The big question for me is, do you think we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6? This is a debate that I've had with the X1 bros. And I think we had it this last week, actually. Do you think we're seeing Elder Scrolls 6? A lot of people think no. I think we may. And I think we may because Oblivion is there. I think there's been enough time that Elder Scrolls 6 has passed. I think Starfield is out with a few updates now. It's been 2 years since Starfield has dropped. I think it's time. I don't think we see anything else from Bethesda as far as like marquee titles. Like we know we're not getting the next generation of Fallout necessarily. So what do we see with Elder Scrolls 6, if anything? Mr. Cooper says if we do it will be a tease only. See, I don't know. I think that may be true, but I think we'll get more. I think we'll get gameplay. I think we'll get, hey, we want to show you what we're seeing so far. Like not what we're seeing. We want to show you what we've been working on. Here you go. Here's some of Elder Scrolls 6. And I think we get some gameplay. I think we get some I definitely think we get a teaser if we get anything, but I do think we'll also get some gameplay in there. And maybe some information about the world, the map. Maybe some of the new mechanical features in there, like as far as, hey, you guys loved Unreal. Here's what we've done to update. What is their engine? The Creator Engine, and what we're bringing back from Skyrim to Elder Scrolls 6, stuff like that. I think we'll go into that. Super Shocker says the Vegas ladies of night would love it. All those nerds. All those nerds who live with their mothers finally able to let loose. Good times. Sure. I mean, Vegas is something for everyone. For sure. Interrupted Headlock says, I'm hoping for Withering Waves, Blue Protocol, Star Resonance, and more Eastern games like those to be announced for an Xbox release. It's been amazing having Genshin Impact on Xbox. Amen. I know a lot of people agree with you, Interrupted Headlock. And I think Xbox is definitely going for variety. They're going for worldwide variety, and there's definitely a style there for sure. Millsy, I'm looking forward to seeing what this partnered handheld is going to be like. That's true. We are going to get to see what the partner handheld is going to be like. I think we're going to see some gameplay on it, some UI. The UI is what's going to be most interesting because the UI is what's going to set Xbox up going forward. How does it function? For those of you that don't know, if maybe you've been living under a rock, maybe you just haven't heard about it, Xbox has partnered with ROG to make a partnered handheld that is dropping at the end of this year. So, Millsy, I left that out, but absolutely, we for sure are going to see that on the Xbox Games Showcase, no doubt. We'll see how it operates. We'll see how, Do they focus on cloud there? I don't think so. I think they focus on the UI. I think they focus on the PC side of stuff. I think they focus on the handheld itself, and what sets it apart, what makes it different. And then it'll be honestly a sneak peek for us to see what Xbox first-party hardware will look like come 2027. Cooper says we should finally get a release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake. That would be absolutely huge. I have held off of playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation because I want the achievements on Xbox. So, it's been years. So there you go. El Nini says, I don't want to see it unless it comes out next year. If it's still due for 2027, I'm good. Are you talking about Elder Scrolls 6, El Nini? Reactor Leak is here in the house. Good morning, peeps. Good morning, Reactor Leak. How you doing? Speak of the Reactor Leak, and he shows up. I was being talked about. If good things, it's only rumors. No, Reactor Leak, I was just talking about how I would love to see an E3 come back. And I would love to see an E3 come back in like Las Vegas. I think that would be super cool. I think it's built for it. I think ease of access there is amazing and really sets it apart and makes it special. And I was just saying, you were trying to get us to go to PAX West, and you attend PAX West every year. But to me, I think it's a great consumer event. It's a great convention, gaming convention, and I hear nothing but good things. But the lack of announcements at those things, I think if you combine those, that's what set E3 apart. Like the newness, the what's getting dropped. Oh my goodness, did you see this news? And just added this excitement that I think is hard to replicate. DJH says Xbox ain't doing shit. Microsoft Gaming is. I think semantics there. They're one and the same IMO. IMHO. Super Stalker says, I would love to see a demo of GTA 6 with that Disney walking mat for VR. Yeah, have you seen that Disney walking mat, guys? Do you know what he's talking about? The Disney walking mat is it's like this rubber, for lack of a better term, it's like this rubber mat that simulates walking. You put it down on the ground, and then it lets you walk in place, essentially. It does look really cool. And it's not rubber. It's some special chemical new age thing that they came up with. I don't know. I'm lacking words to describe it, but I agree. Do we get to see more GTA 6? Do we get gameplay of GTA 6 during these big announcements? We may. I think we may, actually. And then on what stage? PlayStation. It'll be PlayStation. It would definitely be PlayStation Showcase at this point. I don't even know why I asked that question. PlayStation got the capture rights to GTA 6 with the last trailer. I don't see why that would switch up at all. So, but I would be very interested to see GTA 6. I want to know more about GTA 6 online. I don't think that Rockstar is going to show us that yet, though. And I've said this before. I think that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the last first game for a lot of people. Whoa. What do you mean by that, X1? That's crazy. The last first game, it means I think it will be so successful, and you combine it with their online component that we know is eventually coming as well, and I think it's the last game that a large segment of people play for the first time, and it becomes their forever game. I've said it already. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, GTA Online, is the new MMO. And it basically enables you, like metaverse, the word metaverse became a huge thing over the last 5 years, a huge word that people are trying to build. And if you think about it, it kind of already existed with GTA. You could go in, you could live your life, you could buy apartments, you could gamble, you could buy a yacht, you could rob people, you could work out. There's a whole role-playing aspect to it. And that's with a mode that was an afterthought for Rockstar that was technically dropped. Not online, but the game itself was dropped on the 360 era, at the very end of the 360 era, if you remember. It launched simultaneously on the 360 and the Xbox One. So it's been out for forever. And online, I think they accidentally fell into. It was not built from the ground up for online. It was a tack on afterwards. So what does GTA 6 do? Built from the ground up for online. And I think it becomes a lot of people's and a lot of players' first game or last first game that they play. Does that make sense? Last new game makes more sense. There you go. So it's gonna be really interesting. Reactor League, yeah, definitely a combo event would be needed. Although I will say the last GDC pre-pandemic was turning into that. GDC is cool. I've been to GDC. That's the game developer convention. I've been to it for my work, and it was really cool. That's where you see a lot of the new stuff, a lot of dev tools that are out there and what's possible in the future. The GDC that I was at, Fortnite was there in a big way, showing off all of their tools, their developer tools. But it was cool. GDC is a very cool event. If you've never been, highly recommend, and you're into gaming, well worth it to just go check it out and see what's there. Really cool. Reactor League says, to be honest, I'd rather see an event like this in the Bay Area, not because I live here, but I mean Silicon Valley. There's nothing like that in basically the birthplace of gaming. Feels off, but GDC is money. Yeah, absolutely. I just think, I mean, it's been in LA, E3, and LA is a hot mess as far as accommodations, as far as getting around, as far as getting from the airport to downtown LA. It's just a hot mess. The airport in Vegas is right off the strip. Like when you land in Vegas, the strip is right outside your window as you're landing. And you could walk from the airport. I mean, you can't really, but it's literally a 5-minute Uber. I don't even think you need to take Uber, actually. I think you could take the monorail from the airport if you need to, but everything's right there. It's just super accommodating. That's mostly why I would like to see it in Vegas, because let me tell you, the hotels in LA, it was so expensive. So expensive. But there you go. Anything else we're missing, guys, that you think we may see for the Xbox showcase, the Xbox game showcase? Do you agree with me that it's going to be the largest or the biggest show that Xbox has put on in years? It's hard for me to see how it's not. Xbox, in my opinion, has just been on a roll lately. I think everything. So one thing that I always say is that Game Pass strategy is like a boulder rolling down a hill. And once it gets going, it's going to be hard to stop. And I think it's gotten going. I think it's gotten going in a big way this year. And I think it's going to be hard to stop. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they have to show off with the amount of developers that they have, what they have to show off here. It is June 8th. So it is Sunday, June 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific time is the Xbox Game Showcase this year. Dark Knight says, yeah, it's definitely going to top last year's. I agree. I think it's going to be huge. So going to be very interested. I think we see Elder Scrolls 6. Tag it, mark it. Highlight this video, bookmark it, and come back to it. Just a few weeks away. Yeah. Just like, 3.5 weeks away, 3 weeks away here. So not far at all. It's going to be very, very exciting. It's going to be fun. It's fun. The gaming, we're at such a good place in gaming. We almost have too many options. I feel like we have too many options. I've been playing Expedition 33 lately. I love that game, by the way. The game I also want to try out that I haven't jumped into yet is Precinct. Have any of you guys played Precinct? It's like a top-down police game, very Grand Theft Auto feel, except for you're the police. Looks cool, in my opinion. The other one that just dropped last week is Doom. How many people in chat have been playing Doom? Doom's always solid as well. But all that to say, we are in a very good place as gamers. We're almost spoiled. Spoiled? That's the right word. We're kind of spoiled as gamers in everything that we get. We're definitely spoiled as Game Pass users, in my opinion, because we have so many options. It's not. We got Oblivion, Expedition 33 in the same week. Then Doom, South of Midnight dropped earlier, just a few weeks ago. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Everybody, that does me for today. This was our first daily. This is our first X1. Wake up with X1. Wake up in the morning with X1. Thank you very much for being here. This will be daily for those of you that listen to the show as a podcast. If you want to listen to it as a podcast, first of all, links are in the description below. Make sure you go do that. But this will be what drops daily. My daily videos will be separate from this, and they'll be individual takes. So make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel for that. But this will be the new podcast edition that drops over on Spotify. So if you miss it, if you enjoy listening to it rather than seeing it, but we will be here every single morning. I think we're aiming for 5:30 a.m. PT for 1 hour. Well, it's really 30 minutes to an hour. I think we're closing in on 40 minutes this morning. And we're just going to kick around the news. I will be adding more segments to this. This is just a test run here to see how it goes. We'll be looking at comments in chat, or comments rather on videos. We'll be looking at different tweets, tweet of the day, trailer of the day, stuff like that. And then the goal here is just to hang out and talk all things games. So thank you very much for being here. Everybody that is live, thank you for hanging out. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we will see you next time.